Hey, I'm Chris Troy, host of St. Clair County Recess, Moment in History. And I'm here in Port Huron at 1432 Military and in front of a building that has had many uses over the years. From offices to a seasonal decor shop, this building has been a mystery to many people in town. Those who don't remember the Parfet Ford dealership. Born in 1894 in Golden, Colorado, Albert Parfait was the son of George Parfait, who was a pioneer in the clay mining business and was the youngest of 7 brothers. Albert would go on to study business at the University of Michigan in 1910, where he met his soon-to-be wife, Madeline McCoy, who originally was from Minneapolis. Now, the two would be married on June 22, 1914, and would go on to have 2 children, Stephanie, who was born in 1918, and Meredith, who was born in 1922. Following getting married, the two moved to Highland Park, Michigan, where Albert would serve as an English teacher at the Ford School for Dealerships in September 1914. He would remain at the Ford School until 1921, when he relocated to Port Huron. You see, as part of his salary at the Ford School for Dealers, he was given a Ford dealership in Port Huron, which stood at 405 Water Street. It would be at this dealership that Parfait would hone his skills in marketing and promotion. As the roaring 1920s began, the automotive business surged, and Mr. Parfait was forced to find a new location for his Ford agency. He found it on the northeast corner of Military and White Street. This was the former site of the Frank Jenks homestead. Parfait would clear the homestead and erect at the cost of $125,000 a new Ford dealership. August Schultz was contracted to build the new building. Now, he was best known for being the contractor who built the Washington School on 10th Street. The building would be constructed of reinforced concrete with a front of dark red wire-cut brick and stone trim. The design was the brainchild of architect George Harvey, who at the time was known for his designs of the Maccabee Building on Huron Street and the Lady Maccabees Building at the corner of Huron and Pine Grove Avenue. On the first floor of the building, glass partitions would be used to divide the office of the manager, sales manager, cashier, and telephone exchange. The repair shop was located on the second floor, hosting large machinery that would elevate vehicles to the second floor, where they could be serviced. The machinery was identical to that used at the Ford factory. There was also a showroom for truck bodies in the basement, which extended halfway under the building. The other half was used for employee lockers and restrooms. In all, the building ended up costing near $135,000 to complete, but was a premier building in the city of Port Huron. On December 9, 1921, the Parfet Ford dealership opened, and an open house was held to anyone interested in seeing the new dealership. As part of Parfait's skilled promotions, a charity dance was also held December 10, 1921, in the dealership, which featured the William McCandless Orchestra. All of the proceeds went to the Okawawa Crippled Children's Camp. This dance would also bring in people to the dealership who wanted to see the new Ford line for 1922. Parfait would go on to sponsor the first Port Huron Auto Dealers Association, first auto show, and opened his own radio station that broadcasted from the building. WAFD at 275 meters stood for We Are Ford Dealers and was the first radio station in Port Huron. In 1929, the American economy burst, launching the economy into the Great Depression. In order to keep afloat, Parfait began advertising used cars, becoming the first used car lot in Port Huron. This helped for a short time, but in January 1933, Parfait would lose his building. Parfait would retain his dealership, though, and in 1933 would open a new high-speed gas station and garage on the corner of 10th and Water Street. This station did well, so by December 1933, Parfait announced that he would be opening a new dealership in the Occam block directly across from the Desmond Theater. He would also build a new high-speed gas station and showroom next to the Desmond Theater on the site of the old Harrington Mineral Baths. Designed by Walter Reith, this deco-style dealership would end up hosting a number of dealerships until it burned in the 1960s while being used as Peyton Motors. Never missing a trick of promotion, Albert Parfait used Ripley's Believe It or Not by putting 11 consecutive greens in his dealership to set a world record on August 13, 1935. In 1946, some 13 years after leaving this building, Albert Parfait was back on 1432 Military Street selling Fords in partnership with his son-in-law, Sanford Ladd. He would then retire in 1953, ending a long career in Ford's history in Port Huron. As for the building, it would go on to host different dealerships from Port Pontiac, Vauxhall Sales and Service, Peyton Motors, and in 1963 was the terminal for the Greyhound bus lines. In 1985, Five Seasons Outlet took over the building and remained until December 19, 1993. On August 11, 1977, Albert Parfait passed away at the age of 83 in his home in Santa Monica, California, leaving behind him an amazing automotive legacy in the Blue Water area. For Moment in History Extra, hey, I'm Chris Troy, reminding you that history, that lives in all of us.